Hey, what's going on, guys? 118 Set Shadow here. So, you may know me from doing Cardfight Vanguard market watches as of late, but a new game just released recently from Psy Games and also with Bushiroad handling marketing on that front. And it's a game that I've been playing on mobile for quite a while. It's Shadowverse EVOLVE. Shadowverse is a mobile card game that is under Psy Games. Has been around for 7 years now. They're just celebrating their 7th anniversary right now for the mobile app. But the card game actually got a physical version last year that released in Japan, and we just got it over this past weekend over here. Now, because I have an interest in Shadowverse, I thought I'd give Market Watch a try on this as well. And to start off with, we'll have one booster pack to start along with a number of starter decks that are available. So for those of you who have played the original Shadowverse, there are quite a few differences in terms of rules and gameplay when it comes to the physical variation. So if you're used to the mobile card game, you will be learning a few new things as you go if you're trying to play the physical card game here. I should avoid saying real because that's subjective. In any case, the game currently has one booster pack and a total of 6 different. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 6 different trial decks available. Market price is actually above $20 on each of these guys, and the boxes are currently in the 60s. I recall these used to pre-order closer to 70, and then I think the MSRP on these is $80. So just keep that in mind when it comes to base prices for how this game is starting out. But of course, as I said, pre-order prices for these boxes was in the 70s to 80s, and they've fallen off from there. Now they sell for just above 60 on release day. There was also a campaign from TCG Player to get 8% back on product, or 13% if you're a subscriber. And then there were some prices that fell lower, but eventually they just climbed back up over $60, so that's where we're at now. Booster packs will contain a variety of rarities, which I want to go over before we start getting into prices. We have Bronze Rarity, which is effectively like the common of this game. You have Silver Rarity, which is supposed to be it's supposed to be like a base rare from each pack. You have Gold Rare, which is higher than Silver. Then you have Legendary, which is the highest rarity in a pack, until you start getting into the very different variants. Like, what they did was they made premium versions of certain cards, which is effectively an incredibly shiny version of cards that could be bronze all the way to gold. And then what they made are super legendaries, which are the same kind of concept as premium, but they're for legendaries exclusively. And then you've got ultimate rares. Not like Yu-Gi-Oh! Where it's just printed into the card and it's shiny, shiny, shiny. But these ultimate rares are alternate art cards of several cards in the set right now. Well, I say several, but to be fair, there are only 6 of them. And finally, there's another type of card that's in the game, the leader card. The leader card indicates what craft that you're using when you play. So you could just consider these as skins to illustrate just where you're actually, what type of craft that you're going to be playing. If you played Shadowverse, the mobile game, you'll recognize a good amount of these characters here with alternate arts or new arts that you may not have seen before. But effectively, that's what the leader cards are. And in addition, this game does actually have quite a lot of token cards too. And from my understanding, each booster pack is supposed to contain a token card. And token cards are thicker than the typical card that you would expect. So that's something to just keep in mind there. With the rarities now set, let's go ahead and take a look at some cards. So, When it comes to Shadowverse, there are multiple crafts, but there's also a neutral craft as well, which can be played amongst all crafts. Essentially, that's what this first card that we're going to go over, Bellringer Angel, is. It's a neutral card that can be played in any deck. So Bellringer Angel, if those who have been following Shadowverse Evolve from the Japanese version, probably heard of this card quite a lot of times, and of course, if you played the original game, I'm sure you know of this card as well. But this is actually one of the more expensive cards to pick up right now. $21 with a market price of $23.52 right now. Historically, we've seen sales as high as $30 sometimes. This card is pretty popular, and I imagine it's just going to continue to be so for a while. It's a simple draw and then has the ability to evo for 2 points, and it's a 1 play point. The evolved version of Bellringer Angel, that's another thing about this game, is that the evolved versions of these cards are different cards. So you will need to pick up evolved versions to actually evolve. But the evolved version of Bellringer Angel is not quite as popular. This one's only $3.50, market price is close to $4, $3.86. There are a fair amount of copies for $4-ish. And then, what are quantities looking at here? 9 listings overall. This is the base gold rarity of it as well. I'll just be going over base rarities right now for the singles. Later on, we will probably look at more of the premium level as we go along. Lucifer is also a popular one from set 1 and is also the cover card of the set. Current low price $22.50 with market price being $24.37. And if we take a look at sales history on this one, we started off at $30 and $35 too. And it's just been selling pretty consistently now for about $23, so $23 seems to be the common price to pick up. But $23 listings are down to just 4 copies versus $30 listings, near $30 listings after that. So if you want Lucifer, it is going, and there are only 9 listings on that one too. Looking at a silver card from the set, Execution. This card has seen a big increase since the initial release a few days ago, where you can see from the history, even just from 2 days ago, you were able to pick this card up for just 50 cents, sometimes even 25 cents. Now, they're getting up to $3 all the way up to $5. And this is just a silver card, mind you, but it is another neutral card. Don't underestimate these neutrals. They are generic, and this is the only set in play right now, besides the starter decks. So you're probably going to see a lot more neutrals as we go along when it comes to value increases. Then another thing to note about the game is that if you played the original game, you know Shadowcraft and Bloodcraft exist, but what they did in Shadowverse Evolve is merge them into a single one, which in Japan they called it Nightmarecraft? And I think they changed the name here in English, but I can't remember. Abysscraft. They changed it to Abysscraft over here. So, Abysscraft is a combination of Shadowcraft and Bloodcraft cards. So, one of them is Cerberus, originally from Shadowcraft. $15 base price, and historically, we've seen $15 sells, some $10 sells. Those were pretty lucky, I suppose. And they are available for $16 on average from the looks of it. Then we have Dire Bond, which is an amulet card that came out of Bloodcraft. It is now in Abysscraft. This card is pretty cheap, but is also a gold. We have 23 listings on this one that have been selling more consistently for $1.25. So this one is a pretty easy pickup right now. There are only 2 listings before we really start getting to $2, but there are a lot of copies among those 2 listings. Moving into Havencraft, we've got Moon Al Mirage, which is a legendary. This one is also pretty cheap. We've got 30 listings on this one, that have been selling more commonly for $3.69, and there are a fair amount of copies for that price right now before it actually goes to $4. And then you have Themysticree, which to the equivalent of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is like a dark hole. It just destroys all followers on the field. 19 listings on this one, and it's available pretty readily for $1.25 right now, so not bad of a pickup. Aurelia Regal Saber from Swordcraft. $3.95 is the base listing right now, with market price being closer to $5, and it has 27 listings overall. But there are a number of copies available for $4, plus shipping, of course. Yeah, Saber is just... it's one of those cards where I really like the artwork as well. It's just a cool looking one. Moving into Forestcraft, we got Rhinoceroach, which is actually really, really cheap. So for those of you who played the mobile game, Rhinoceroach has been notorious for being quite a powerful follower, but it's not as popular in the physical game. We've got 75-cent listings pretty much across, or no, not really. We have a few, but there are a fair quantity for 75 cents right now. Then it becomes a $2 card afterwards, so just keep that in mind. Ancient Elf, also from Forestcraft. This one has sold more consistently for $10 and has lows still below that. We have $7, $9, so pretty consistent on that front. Then moving into Dragoncraft, Aelia Dragon Knight, which was a bronze in the original game, is now a gold in the... or no, it's not... was it a bronze? Yeah, I think it was a bronze. It's a gold in Shadowverse EVOLVE. There are 23 listings of this one, 149 to start off with, and there's only one listing at that rate before it gets to 178 and 185, so it goes upward to become a $2 card with time. Dark Dragoon Forte, also from Dragoncraft. This one is a legendary card. Only 5 listings left on this one at $20 to start off with, and it more recently sold for $15 and $14. Let me see. And a lot of them sold for $15 to $14, so all the ones left are $20 or above, so this one is starting to get up there. Dragon is looking to be one of the more popular ones out the gate, so I guess it's not much of a surprise. And to wrap up our first market watch is Merlin from Runecraft, where the price on this one is, let's see, last sell was $20, but we have seen $25 sells, and they're mostly $25 onward. So this is another expensive legendary to pick up if you are looking to get into Runecraft. Thank you guys for watching my first market watch on Shadowverse. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time.